Hey, welcome to another episode of Culturally Rooted. You got myself, Malcolm, aka Superman, and to my left, Celia Moleni.
Yeah. You see who we got today?
Let's go.
And then, of course, left to her is Cuzzo, Nye.
Bula.
Left to him, Bron.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it. Well, Celia, I appreciate you.
Hey, for
taking
real.
the time and joining us
Thanks for having me.
in the Lion's Den.
I know. You guys are making me
And-
nervous.
And I don't know what kind of lion that is, but you know what? We're gonna
It's a cougar lion right there.
You know what? Whatever, man.
we're gonna dive in.
I think our IQ has went up because usually it's just us. You're probably the highest
yeah.
The highest
I feel
of
it,
highest.
person
You know?
that's walked up in here. So yeah, we.
I don't know. I'm pretty high, but.
It's definitely
That's a different one.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, sorry. I didn't mean that.
anyways.
If you caught
definitely
that, you
upgrade.
caught that. Bam!
Definitely upgrade. So I appreciate you. Again, so like we said, we always dive into the roots. And one thing with Celia, we want to
Yes, sir.
dive into your story.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the successful
Yeah, but.
woman from the floor up,
Yeah.
but we don't know what made Celia Celia.
There you go.
All the stuff underground.
From the beginning.
So,
You
as
know?
far as you want to go back, Celia, let's talk.
Yeah, where you from? Where you at?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was born in Tonga.
Huh?
I know. I was born in Tonga, in Tonga Tapu, in the
India.
Vaini Hospital.
Okay.
And
that's
then my
the same
family and
one?
I moved to New Zealand when I was 2 years old. I'm number 9 of 11. So I have
Number
7
9.
of 11. Yeah.
How many boys, girls?
Boys, 7 boys, and then 4 girls. Yeah.
Hey, shout out your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, but you know what's
Shout
crazy
out
is
mom and dad.
like, Polly's like they always come for big families, but now we don't have big families. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, we kind of like steered away from that.
Yeah, you know
Now
what
we
I
have
mean?
like
But
1 or 2 or 3.
yeah,
Maybe
but,
4.
but when you talk to like older people, they're like, yeah, 14. Like my mom came
you
from
ain't lying.
14.
Yeah.
That was a normal
thing.
It's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
true.
normal.
Yeah, my mom came from a big one, but we only had 3 in our family. But I consider you guys family, so that's more.
So we
right?
all
Ah.
Mwah.
Anyways,
Mwah.
anyways,
Mwah.
Back to Celia.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Wow.
okay.
Yes, big
so
families,
All
right?
love, all love.
Move to New Zealand.
Moved to New Zealand.
What part?
And then Hamilton, New Zealand. So
Hey.
Temple View. Right by the temple, you know.
How long?
We were there till... Hey, that's a good pukana.
Hey.
Don't
Watch
Don't
out, move
encourage
away.
Thank you.
Pukana. Pukana.
Guys,
Go ahead, hold on. Go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead.
guys.
Oh my goodness, you guys are funny. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
So in New Zealand, my family and I were there for until I was 12 years old. So
Okay, so grew up.
we actually came here in 95, and then my mom and I went back with the younger. My mom took the younger ones back to take care of her mother. So when we moved to the United States, we left my grandmother there, Nanny. We called her Nanny.
Wow.
And
That's
so
your,
my mom
that's your
would-
mom's mom.
My mom's mom, and that's how
you
Nye and
guys
I
close
are
with them?
related. We're related through the Wolfgram side.
Oh, you and Cuzzo.
I didn't even know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
So-
Hey, shout out
Hey.
Stella. I love you though
There you
to
go.
death. But your
Yes.
son though, you know, fuck it. Oh, okay, that's cool.
So there's connections between.
Were you guys
my
close to
family.
your grandma?
Yeah,
on your
very
mom's
close.
side?
Yeah, she lived with us in New Zealand, and we took care of her. And then when we moved here,
Wait.
yeah.
So going back to New Zealand, we hear a lot of stories of like people growing up in the islands, but like not too many from like New Zealand. And it's crazy to see the polys out there because I feel like they're just like us, but like a different version. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're not Tongan enough to be Tongan, but we're American Tongan. But New Zealand, it's almost the same thing. Like they share
Similarities.
Similarity. I
Similarities.
got you.
Yes.
Thank you. Similarities that we both share, but we're not like from the island.
You ain't lying. We ain't the same
Like-
in a way, right?
Yeah. What's your experience? Like, do you feel like Polynesians were, what were they there? Because over here, you know, like
And you're right though, cousin, because
white
it's
people
different
kinda
over
like
there.
run this.
No,
and
you're
then
right. No, what New
Polynesians is
Zealand's
kinda-
different
but
anyways.
I feel like in New Zealand, Polynesians are more like welcomed because the Maori, right? Like that's their people. But
Hey, all I know,
Do you remember?
Yeah, I
'Cause you were
remember
still
a
young.
ton. As a kid, you know, I wasn't Maori enough because I was half Tongan, you know, and so
Shit.
I love my Maori
that's
people,
crazy,
but you
though.
find that everywhere. So when I moved
Everywhere.
to Utah and I was around my Tongan cousins, it was like, oh, they made fun of my Maori side. But I love both sides, right? I remember when my sister, when we would have weddings, we'd have the haka. We were very strong in our Maori culture because my mom was Maori.
Dope.
But when we would perform at the Tongan, a lot of us married Tongans, and so when we would perform the haka or a Maori dance, we'd see my Tongan family. Clap, and we were like,
Hey, but
"Oh
it's
my gosh,
like
look at
that though.
face."
Yeah, but
It's
they
like
But it's
that.
like that.
They
You
don't
go,
know.
you know what I mean? If I was half, they're like, "Oh, you're from the bush, hey." And I'm like,
Like that.
it's like that.
Hey, but
I
yeah,
mean,
we
no
are though.
hate towards my Maori family,
Right,
but
right,
you
right.
see that everywhere.
Okay.
Like,
It's everywhere.
not Tongan enough, not Maori enough, but. Yeah, that's how it was. It was wonderful. I had the best childhood growing up in Temple
Wow,
View.
I
I mean, I
bet.
didn't come home till like, yeah, it was beautiful.
Is
I
it?
mean, I walked to school every day with my friends. We had like a shop across the street. I'd go take my 10 cents and get candy. I'd run around with no shoes.
That
It was
sounds
the
like a-
best
like
childhood. For me, it
For
was
real,
the
huh? That sounds like a.
nice.
Did you ever ride any whales?
did I no.
Did you see any whale?
No,
the
but
whale
you know,
rider.
I did attend a Maori lingual school, like a bilingual school. So we learned Maori. We learned about our culture.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I get into that a
let's
little
get into
bit?
that.
Yeah, let's get into
Let's,
it.
let me get into that. Like what is that? What do they speak? I know Maori, but I don't think I've ever heard like. Is it the stuff they're saying when they do the haka?
Yeah, that's where we're chanting. That's our Maori language. So you hear a haka, it's in Maori. We sing a lot, so that's why you hear a lot of singers come from New Zealand.
Okay.
Because in our culture, we
yo,
sing
for
our
real.
music. Okay, you'll see them like playing the guitar and then singing with their hearts. That's a big part of our culture. So I grew up singing, dancing, learning about where this song came from, knowing where my ancestry came from, the mountains, my tribe, my waka, my ship,
Look,
my boat,
That's
all those
that's
things.
dope.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
So they're teaching you this while you're going to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. See, to me, like I wish Hawaii was more like that because like U.S. has taken over and like almost like they've forgotten who they were, right?
Yeah.
But like to go to a school like that, where
They
you
teach you
they
about
teach you who
your
you
culture.
are.
You ain't lying.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
But
That's
there was a
tight.
time where they couldn't do that. If you were caught speaking Maori, you'd get disciplined.
Stop.
So right before we came back to the U.S., they started implementing bilingual schools again.
Wait, hold on.
Why?
Yeah.
You're disciplined where? Over there or over
In New
So-
Zealand, yeah, because the British came over and took over, and so they disciplined. Yeah, if you were caught speaking Maori,
In New Zealand.
you would get
See?
There's a whole history about
See,
it.
we're gonna talk
Crazy,
about that
right?
more. But look,
I-
okay, I
yeah, I
see
love
where
that.
you're going
there's-
at. Okay.
I mean, I'm only scratching the surface.
No, I feel you.
I
There
moved
was
here when
way
we were
deeper.
about to learn about that stuff, right? But that's just the surface.
You guys moved to Utah straight from New
Yeah,
Zealand. That's
yeah.
where you guys came here,
Mhm.
and then
West
you guys
Valley
been
City.
here since.
Ooh,
Yeah.
West Valley. Let's
Hey, don't
go.
say it like that.
WC.
Hey, this is original over
Yo,
here. So if you
Look,
guys
let
don't
me,
know-
let me tell you about what she's talking about. It's not that cool. I don't know why she banging it like it's
hella
cool.
cool.
When you come to when you come to Utah, nobody says let's go to West Valley. Yeah. Okay.
That's my city.
Okay, my
Hey.
fault.
And I love it.
That's what's up. That's what's
Valley's
up.
dope. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, so you guys moved here. Then you said you and your mom went back to New Zealand, right?
Yeah,
To
just
take
for,
care of your grandma.
Yeah, just for like a year or so, and just to check up on her, make sure she's okay.
Your grandma still.
She passed away in 03.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dang.
she was really
R.I.P.
old,
Mm.
but
But then after that, moved back straight here.
mhm.
Were you doing anything like at the time, like growing up? Were you playing any sports?
Junior high. So I came back in junior high, and it was so fun. It's culture shock. I mean, I didn't like it here at first.
Telling us.
I had a thick accent, and nobody understood
Oh,
what I was
man.
saying. Yeah.
She said, Kiota.
I was like, hey, bro.
I'm Celia.
Shoot.
Yeah, and I
dang.
didn't like talking because I didn't like, people myself. I didn't like repeating myself over and over again. So as quickly as I could, I became a chameleon. And that was first changing the way
Hey,
I
you
spoke.
gotta be like
Okay,
that though.
okay.
That's
But
what's
I
up.
kind of regret it though, right? Like, be true to who you are.
Mm.
Okay, hold on. Go on for that. What do you mean?
There
Like,
you go.
Right?
what
I
you
mean, I came
smiling?
from-
What you smiling over there for? You
Go
gonna say
ahead,
something?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Go ahead.
Am I right though?
No,
You're right.
You're right. You have
Well,
But I was only like 12, so
see, that's what I mean.
But,
you know
but
what
so
I mean?
far, like to as far as she's got, like that's who she was.
She's
All of a sudden, she has to try to be like,
everybody else.
"Hey, what's up?"
Well, you just gotta adapt.
Hey,
I just
what's
feel
up?
like you gotta
What's up, VC?
adapt.
Okay.
No, stop banging. I just got done explaining to y'all.
No,
Okay.
yeah. So we moved to West Valley City, and I loved it. I mean, the Polly's there. I went to the Tongan ward, and that became our family.
See,
That's where I felt like I was at home again. Was being around my Polynesian brothers and sisters.
oh,
Yeah, it was so
so you're
good.
big being around your
My
culture
people.
and stuff. Yeah,
Culture
your
has
people.
been a big part of your.
See, that's like a
upbringing.
Maui
Big
thing, though,
part,
huh?
yeah.
Well, it is.
What do you mean?
Like that part, like wanting to be around. Cause I ain't gonna be. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be around a lot of poly people. Like when I
What?
go, yeah, when I
Why?
go to.
Hey, I think
Get off the
it's
stage,
in
bro.
Stages.
Hey,
Because
cut his
sometimes I
mic.
feel
Yeah,
that
man. Like
too.
right now, I
Cut
feel
his-
uncomfortable.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
No, just because, like, like when a lot
Yeah.
of Polynesians get
I'm
together,
just saying,
sometimes
man,
it's like it's a good vibe,
Sometimes.
sometimes it's not a good vibe.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, like as your culture is Maui, like I feel like that's what like, cause you guys are very people person. Like your people,
Well,
like you love your people.
It was my Samoan and Tongans. Like I moved here from New Zealand, and I didn't feel as welcomed until I was around my Tongan like family in the ward, and also my Samoans. Like all my besties.
Well, probably because there wasn't a lot of
Samoan.
y'all.
Hey,
huh?
yo.
What?
Yeah, and
That's
I mean,
Superman.
and I love them.
Wait,
so
wait. You said all your besties are Samoan?
Most.
Mo did
yeah.
Aggie. She didn't even shout you out, Aggie.
Girl, that's my number.
In your face, Aggie.
So,
Opportunity.
yeah, could you just like elaborate a little bit more on coming from New Zealand, trying to blend in, also being like hardcore Mormon? I feel like all like the fobs,
Yeah, when you
when
first
they
get
got
here,
here, you know what I
ain't
mean? Like
lying.
they just knew what they knew from the island, but like coming to America, it's different. But we still carried all that baggage with us because we knew no other way. But
Yeah.
what was your experience like being a teenager doing all that?
Well, you know, my parents, they sat us down in New Zealand and they told us we're going to the promised land. And
that.
Coach
What?
McBride from
Samoa?
the University of Utah,
Oh.
came to.
Huh?
You good, bro?
I didn't even know he was
Sorry.
here.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Samoa.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize.
Coach McBride actually came to New Zealand and told my parents, you guys ought to move to Utah.
He said it like that.
Yeah, he came in over. He sponsored our
Jeez,
family.
different when it's like that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
that's
so,
like a.
and he promised my parents, all my brothers would get scholarships, and he'd be a part of that.
And did it happen?
It happened.
See, these are visions, cousin. We can't know nothing
The
about.
visions.
There
And my
you
parents
go.
were visionaries.
See?
You know,
Hey,
visionaries.
okay.
To travel all the way across on the ocean, bring 11 of their children to Utah was
That's what I'm saying.
That's a
With
dream.
just a
wasn't
faith?
mistake. It was
Just a faith?
Just a faith, right? Promised land. And so when we came here, yes, it's totally different. I started not seeing my dad as much because he was working 16-hour shifts. Whereas in New Zealand, him
You'd
and my
see him a
mom
lot
ran a
more.
business, and
Oh.
I saw them many times. Like my dad would make us
Oh.
breakfast.
Yeah.
He was all up in our lives, right? He would take us to school, but then when we moved here, I only saw him every night at 10 o'clock, and we would always wait to have dinner with him.
Dang.
And then we'd watch Star Trek, and then we would go to sleep.
You
And
know what's
it's
crazy?
over
That's
again.
I had the same lifestyle.
Oh,
I was
too.
gonna
really?
say, that sounds like a
Yeah. Pretty
You know what I
common.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's the
Especially,
word. Very
yeah.
common. Yeah.
with the
Like my dad would
islanders.
come home from work and then my mom would go work graveyards.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like it was like
yeah.
that. Like I only seen them.
What were you doing?
He was running them streets.
I was.
He wasn't even at home. He's calling his sister.
I
Hey,
was
is my dad home
I was
yet?
taking care of my 15 brothers and sisters. I was the youngest.
Wow. Period.
15.
Hey,
just
let's
kidding.
talk about that real quick, because
Yeah.
I know y'all got like a G house thing, which is dope, super
What-
dope.
Wait,
to
Wait,
see.
what's that mean?
Let her tell you.
Yeah.
So when we went to high school, we were really close. The Polly's there. I can't speak for it now, but when we went to, it was like we were so close, like a family. Like so, every time every day we'd go to school, it's like a family reunion. Hella close.
Okay.
Samoans, Tongans, like if you didn't play sports, if you played sports, we would just always meet in this hall by the library, and we all loved the librarian as well. She loved us as well, but we were just a tight knit family. So even to this day, we try to stay close, you know. But we're all busy.
Oh, okay.
But we try to stay close. We've lost some of our Our boys, Ray Tuinao and Mulikinikini, those two have passed
for
away,
real.
but
That's
super
cool.
close.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
but-
Y'all still close?
Like, bro, they like get all their families together. They'll all go out and like do something for like a week.
What do you mean?
Like these are all. This is their.
what do you know?
Listen, this is what I'm trying to tell
we
you.
have like
This is like their high school clique. Like they're all cool like that cool. That they like just remain cool all the way until now, until adulthood. That's obviously when they were teens.
Is a lot of y'all?
there's a lot.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of polys together. You know, usually that's not a good sign.
A whole
When you
lot
have
of
a lot of
mess.
follow-
right
Man,
Yeah.
listen,
there.
these are all the people you mess
Dang, what
with.
kind of experiences have you guys had? Dang, kind of traumatized.
Well,
me.
Yeah, you
I
might
think
need-
we
you might
need
need
to
to help
help you,
them.
man.
For
I think
real.
we
You
need
know
to help
why?
You
you.
might need to help
Because I
them.
kicked it with him.
Some things are coming up.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's because
let's
of
talk
him.
about that for a second. What
Look,
experiences have you
look.
had?
Hey, no,
that-
put me on the chair.
I've
I'll
had-
open
I've
up. I'll
had-
tell you right now.
I had
Let's
great
talk about that.
experience.
Because I'm feeling some type of,
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
Okay, we gonna get to that now.
and there's experiences that make you.
We
think
gonna
that.
get to that now. So, but hold on, you guys really get
That's really
together
cool.
and like
That's really
wives, husbands, kids, and y'all go out
Yeah,
and do
because a
so?
lot of it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's cool.
What made y'all just because losing like some of y'all?
Yeah,
Is that
actually,
really what it was?
Ray and Muli, they were all about getting together. Bless their hearts, they've transitioned to the next life. But since they've been gone, we've made it a fact, or made it a goal to just try to get together as often as we can. Because when they
That's
left,
important though.
it was like, damn, like we have to value our life and we have to like celebrate it while we're living instead of when we're gone. Why do we
Amen.
celebrate life when we're
I be trying
gone?
to tell these two that
Amen.
look,
Right?
these two don't ever want to do nothing, man.
Look,
like,
this is
but
what
that's
we-
a whole another episode.
Like me
Anyway,
and Aggie be getting it.
Yeah,
in
you
our
and Aggie
life.
be getting it?
Yes, we living our best life.
Hey,
see,
Nine
me and
Nines.
him, I be trying to, me and him be trying to
I'm
get
like,
in it.
thanks, Nine.
Damn.
Thanks for letting me take
When
your
you
wife.
let your wife go and get it, you can't get it. So I just stay home.
Okay,
Oh,
cousin. Anyway, so
I don't want to be part of this.
I know, yeah.
okay, so
I
look.
don't want
We're treading in murky water.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Back
Okay,
on
so
track.
you graduated.
Stranger.
G
What was your
House.
first job?
My first job was Wells
out of high
Fargo.
school.
Wells Fargo banking. I just worked a summer job to earn some money before I went to college.
And you don't work
And-
there no more, right?
No.
Okay, don't lie. You ever slid like 20 in your pocket? Stop. You don't work there.
I worked with the files back in the
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even work at the bank.
Yeah,
So the
right.
homie pulls up, you're like, hey, take it.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
you
this
want
is
how
you.
many? And you slide an extra 20.
You said your first job was banking, right?
Wells
You went to the
Fargo.
bank, Wells Fargo. What was
The
y'all's
numbers.
first job?
Yeah, what was your?
What was y'all's
what's
first
your
job?
guys'?
Oh, I
Huh?
was head security for the president of the United States.
Head
security.
Hey,
Thank you for
security.
getting
me up though.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I didn't.
Oh, we just telling lies today.
To
huh?
be honest, I didn't start working until I was older. So, I mean, banking though?
So obviously you,
First job. She
Yeah,
said
first job.
Hey, first job. Shout out Ash. Thanks for letting me come into Jimmy Jones.
Oh,
That
that's
was
right.
That's
right.
That was a fun time right there.
That was your first job?
That was my first. Hey,
How old
besides
are
like
you?
yard work, I was
How
pretty
old
old.
are you? Dave?
25?
24.
Oh.
Oh, really? For real?
Something like that. For real.
okay.
That was my first real job. Shout out Ash Malo.
Hey, I was
job.
working for Mountain Construction. My uncle.
No, that doesn't count.
That
Oh,
counts. I
You're
think that
right,
counts.
because
Did you
that's
get paid?
family, huh?
Or
It's
did you get
family.
paid food
family?
and food?
Yeah, it's
he got
family.
ice cream and
Oh.
the
Hey,
French
but that's
bread.
still hard. That's work.
I mean, that's payment in our culture.
No, that doesn't count.
Because food is payment.
Okay, then
When
my
you
first
get like,
real.
when you get like
Right?
taxes back and stuff, that's your
Okay.
first job.
You're right. Then my first real job was Todd Eldridge Masonry. We were building churches.
Ooh, I remember that.
Straight,
Yeah.
straight for the big dog.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, all the
But
churches y'all go to, I
all
was
the-
building
the
that.
Temples and churches that burned down,
Wow.
he was working on.
He's probably that's why.
No.
I agree.
That's what
Oh.
happened.
Hey, but the
agree.
new Provo Temple though, I'm the one that the windows. I'm the one that
We're
installed.
gonna
Good
have
job.
move.
Hey,
we're gonna
thank
move on
you. Oh, now you don't want to. What
First
was
job?
your
Hey,
job?
where
Yeah.
did you
with
work?
that. Mine was
Yeah.
Panda
on.
Express.
Oh, you were no. Hold on. You
Huh?
were.
Panda
How old were you?
Express.
For
I
real?
was my senior year.
Hey,
Wow.
you still know how to make
He
that
is
chow mein?
lying.
My
They
hat's
didn't-
off
Panda
to you,
Express.
those
Hey,
that went in high
he's
school.
lying. They didn't have
It was-
Panda when he was back then in high school.
It
Hey.
was hard.
You still know how to make
But,
that chow mein?
Chow mein, I can make it all.
Hey.
Okay.
What about that honey walnut shrimp?
Oh, that's my fave.
Orange chicken?
Anyways, it's not about me.
Yeah, he lied.
You lied. Yeah,
Probably.
you lied.
He lied.
We caught
Anyway.
you.
That's a hard worker right there, working in high school.
You were in college.
Okay, so Wells
So-
Fargo, you beat all of us. You got the best one.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about that.
That just went left for
Yeah,
me.
for
Yeah.
real.
Can we
Really?
talk about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
What'd you serve?
Okay. Texas McAllen.
Hey.
Okay.
Louisville, right
Spanish
here.
speaking.
Spanish speaking. For real?
Okay.
Yeah.
You still speak Spanish today?
Little
bit?
Here and there, a little bit, poquito.
Hola.
Okay.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
Huh?
We're not talking to you. Oh, fish ball.
Okay. Serve the mission.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was the, if you had to say, what was the one most important thing that you learned on your mission?
Ooh,
while you were
good
out there?
question. Let's get them.
What I learned was how to love people.
Ooh.
You know, going out there representing Jesus Christ. It's
Mm.
you really have to love people,
Mhm.
because if you're gonna be
Facts.
talking to people every day, which I thought I was good at until I got on my mission. I was like, dang, I need to work on this. The things and the things you hear, the conversations you have, you hear the worst. So I've heard it all.
Yo,
I've been doing this
real
for the
talk.
last 13, 14 years, and I've heard almost everything. And so I'm not too phased about like
Hearing.
traumatic stories. Like I am, but to a point where I've heard it and
You're
I
numb
can
to it?
look over.
Somewhat.
Somewhat
Depends.
somewhat there's a barrier.
Okay.
There's a barrier so that I don't get so pulled into it where I can't see clearly.
Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. When I'm thinking if someone is obviously talking to me the problems and whatnot, and I try to give the best advice I can give. I think it's just natural that you get pulled in, and then I think you give more than you should. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
More of your energy than
yes.
you should. Yes.
Yes. So, no, awesome. So you're a therapist now,
Therapist now.
so you're a therapist, and then
What's it called? What's your
Licensed clinical social worker. So fully licensed LCSW.
based out of?
Best out of
No, you're based.
based out of Taylorsville. So my office is in Taylorsville.
Okay.
There you go.
That's
Hey,
where my
but
office
you just
is.
started your own Manaki Health.
Mm-hmm.
So
Manaki
if y'all
Mental
don't
Health.
know-
What is that? Yeah. What is
Wait.
that?
I really feel like not everyone can be a therapist.
Ooh.
Like what you were just saying, like you felt
cousin.
the revelation on your mission to become what you became to be. You can't just read a book and
I
then
like that.
think you have the right knowledge to go and talk to anybody about anything.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. Only certain people can excel to the highest levels of this thing because you guys were meant to do it.
Right.
But just off of that, how do you not get sucked in when people tell you crazy things, especially in the beginning? Because I feel like
You're right.
I'd go home and I'd be telling my wife everything. Like, hey, yo, look, this guy came in. He was talking about this and this and this. I can't tell you no names, but
you got confident.
No, hey, don't tell
Confidenti-
cousin
yeah,
nothing.
confidentiality.
Don't be trying to get stuff off your
I'm
husband.
just saying, like, that's just the natural person. Like, you want to tell people.
You ain't lying.
Like, you don't have to say names.
You ain't lying,
but
cousin.
how did you not let it come back home with you? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
You know, when you have conversations, it's energy, right? In this conversation that we're having together, it's high vibes, high energy.
Everything
And
high.
so it really is. It is high. High energy. High vibes.
Get that bow. Anyways,
But you don't want to bring that home
Facts.
because it really is. You're
Like
bringing low
negative
vibration, and it.
Okay.
And it is really, it's sacred information. I don't want to repeat it because it really
You're
is
right.
a low vibrational energy that you're bringing in. And to talk about it and to be like, oh, this is what I heard. I don't want to hear it. I've heard it all day. Tell me something high vibrational. Give me some food. Let me scroll a little bit so I can just de-stress. So I don't want to bring it home
So it
because
almost
I have
like
kids. I'm just like, ugh.
it kind of drags you down.
Yes.
So when you get home, you're like, I want to get uplifted. I want to feel
Or
like
I want to
some good-
rest. I want to rest or like
Recharge the battery.
recharge the
Recharge the
battery,
battery.
depending. That's why I love hanging out with my girls, 'cause
so
they-
hold on. Let me go off of
recharge
that.
I never
battery.
thought about it like that.
Yes, yeah, cause me too. So let me go off of that. Cause now I think about it, it is like a down job. Like, you know what I mean? Just
Everyone's
sit there
telling
and
you all the
listen to
bad
somebody
things.
tell you a whole bunch of things they go through, right?
It
And you
is.
can't tell them nothing else but sit there and listen and be like, okay, yeah, I feel you. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when Superman's talking to me like that, I'm like, bro, shut up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? No, you know what I mean? But
I don't want to hear.
but
no
I
more,
love
bro.
him, so I'm like, okay, fine. I listen.
Okay.
Whatever.
I'll sit through this.
But what I'm saying though, I like it that you said that since it is like a down job, whatever, that when you leave out of there, you want to be
Yeah.
uplifted. Where you're like, hey, look, I'm out of there, and so it lets me know it's like. It's just like a job, like how I would work my
normal
job.
job.
You know what I mean? Because
Right,
I'm trying to think
right.
like, no, your job's easy. You know what I mean? All you do is sit in the office. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like,
Mentally
that's
not
the same thing I go through when I come home.
You're
from
physically
work.
tired,
Yeah.
but she gets
Yes.
mentally
That's what I
tired.
Can
mean.
you imagine? Listen, can you
That's a whole
imagine?
different tires.
Can you imagine
cousin.
hearing sexual trauma stories, physical trauma stories?
Real ones though?
Real
huh?
ones though,
But
like
hold
that,
on,
and
so-
they're like crying, and they're
Before you continue on that,
Yeah.
how many hours are you doing a session?
so I'm working at about 40 hours a week right
So
now.
see, again, like you said, sexual and all that. That's got to be draining.
It is very.
That has got to be draining, and obviously, yeah, I see. I don't know.
Bro, like
You're
just sad.
doing that Monday through Friday,
Mm.
and you're.
I think I'd rather be physically tired than emotionally drained.
It
that's what I'm
transfers-
saying.
Yeah,
Like,
it transfers physically, right?
yeah.
It gets me
It drains
physically where
down,
I'm
yeah,
just
it
like,
go
I need
from-
rest. I just need to sleep.
But hold on, but going off of that before you were rudely interrupted by Superman, you're going off about people talking to you about like sexual things that trauma that happened to them, and you got to sit there and listen to them, right? Like all I want to ask you is like when you're listening to them doing that, like are you in your mind thinking like, how do I help this person, or are you thinking like, damn, this person has went through
A lot.
a
Yeah.
lot?
More so that, you come to a point where, as a therapist, you can't be thinking about what you're gonna say.
Oh.
You have to be I
You just
never
want
think about
everything
what
what
that
they
because-
say.
I have to be very tuned into like what they're saying, because if I miss something, like,
That could be
that could be big.
Yeah.
and so I'm really focused in on what are they saying? Where is this coming from? How long? Like the history of it. Tell me the history. When did this first start? What has life been since then? Like all these questions come naturally, but I have to listen. And so the questions that I do ask gear towards getting more information, digging deeper. So they'll tell, and sometimes they won't even tell me till like the 5th session, because I don't feel safe.
Oh yeah, for
Right.
sure.
They're like, I ain't gonna tell her.
It's
I don't even
hard.
know her.
It's hard to
You-
tell something like that.
Oh, and you understand that though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, so you're breaking these walls down right off the bat, right? And that takes energy.
Takes energy.
So then when you get past that, is that where the sunshine comes through and you feel like you guys are on the level ground where they're really actually opening up?
Mm-hmm.
And how's that?
Oh, that's the part where my job gets really
part.
fun.
Mm.
Some days I come home and I'm like, hell yeah, or F yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just like, this is why I do what I do. Because let me just give you an example.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been seeing Polynesian men coming into my office lately.
Yeah, now let's get into this.
And I've loved
Is
it,
it
you
pool?
guys. You guys, my
Never.
Go
Never.
ahead. Sorry.
Hey,
I keep interrupting.
confidentiality.
He needs to, but
Never.
we'll name this
All
guy
right.
Dave.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
We're gonna
right.
book his book.
This will
his
be
appointment.
Dave.
Can you stop interrupting?
This will be
Sorry.
Dave.
Hey, everybody
I
can benefit
apologize.
from therapy. Let me just tell you guys. Okay?
There you go.
Go ahead.
So I've been getting just a lot of Polynesian men coming into my office, and my private practice is focused and geared towards women's mental health, women of color, of all colors, white, black, blue, red, whatever, but for women. But I've been getting Polynesian men, and it's been so humbling because they come in like, okay,
I'm hard.
but they've picked me for a reason. They don't want to go because my brother, I love him. He's he's my mentor, right? He's a therapist, so I always refer him first. I'm like, hey, there's my brother Fisi. He's an amazing therapist.
Shout out Fisi.
LCSW. He would be great, but they choose me because some odd reason in their trauma, maybe being with a man
A man to man's a little more difficult.
is a little bit more difficult. So they choose me on purpose. And so when they're in my office, like I've had, one particular client, like he came in, he had hella trauma, but you wouldn't be able to tell because he's your regular Polynesian man that laughs, jokes just like y'all. And we don't need therapy, right? But he came to a point where like, I don't cry too much, but like when he was explaining his story, and I do something that's called EMDR, it's specifically for trauma. But when we were doing this modality with him, and to hear him recall these memories that he's never really cried about, and to see him break down and cry, I was crying because my heart was breaking with his. He had never shown that to anybody.
Damn.
A grown man with kids and a wife, and for me to be sitting there was such an honor. And I don't usually cry, remember, but with my brother sitting across from me, breaking with all these, and I was looking at all the memories because we have to jot those down. I was like, damn, he's been through hella. But if you were to listen to other poly men, I could guarantee you the same types of memories in Glendale, West Valley City, Rose Park, Provo, whatnot.
All the Salt Lake ones. Provo, we good. We okay down there.
Oh, we
no,
different.
but really, it was a humbling experience. But that's what I do. That's the reason why I do what I do.
Okay, look, let me go. You said you do what you do for women.
That's her new
But
practice.
lately you've been getting men, and they're Polynesian men.
Yes.
Now look, we gotta touch on that because we're Polynesian men,
Are we?
and some of
I identify
him.
as
I don't know if you
Go ahead.
are, but are you? You didn't serve a mission. Anyway,
Oh,
so I'm gonna keep bringing that up the
Are
whole
you
show.
okay though? Hey,
No,
that's part of our culture.
No,
We
don't worry
always
about
joke around.
Don't
But
worry about
are your
him.
feelings really
No,
hurt?
don't
You
worry
know
about
what?
him.
I appreciate you.
Oh, see, now
You
you
know
got
what?
you.
I
Don't
feel
Are your
good.
don't
feelings really
don't
hurt?
pay
No,
no
my
attention to
feelings-
him.
Okay.
You good?
What's your
Alright.
question?
Yeah. Go
So
ahead.
what I'm
Okay,
saying
okay,
though
okay.
is that you're getting Polynesian men in there, right? And you're saying if you were to every Polynesian man, if you were to go down the line of how they're raised all the way, there is
a
a
lot of similarities.
Similarities.
right.
Yeah.
And all I'm trying to say is to be honest, I give it up to those Polynesian men who go in there because that is hard. Because as Polynesian men, we're not allowed to talk about stuff like that. You know
Hey,
what I
but
mean?
let's talk about it. That's the stereotype.
And that's where I'm
That's
gonna
the
get to,
stereotype.
cousin. Go ahead.
Let's break it.
We different though. We
So-
finna talk about it.
Why?
Let's go there.
Celia, you're probably the best person to
Yeah.
ask.
Why do
I
you
know
think that?
Being macho and being hard, like that's a guy thing to do, but what how are they harming themselves by keeping all that bad, I don't know.
Are we just talking
emotions,
about
karma?
Polynesian men, cousin?
Yeah.
Are we talking about all men?
We can talk about men in general, but I'm just speaking like
But we know our men,
because
right?
us, we know how we are.
Culturally rooted.
What?
Okay.
How are we harming ourselves as Polynesian men by not giving you that part, like expressing that part that happened?
And it makes me want to cry because with this particular client, he couldn't express himself. Many times he would be beat for even talking or questioning his father. Beat to the floor, blood, nose, everything.
Hey,
And
that's
so-
kind of normal sometimes in family. Like I want people to know that. Like
No,
what she's
don't
talking
say
about.
it
Well,
is
I'm not-
normal.
Well, I've heard it many
okay,
times.
Okay.
In the Polynesian,
That's what I'm gonna say.
you don't
Yeah.
question your parents.
That's
you
what I'm
never
trying to
question
tell
your
them.
dad.
Yeah.
If he tells you to do something,
you
you
do
do
it.
it.
Do
Yeah.
it.
And if you don't, you get answered physically.
You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to let them know is that what she's talking about. Half of us is going. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
You've experienced it,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so with this particular client, I mean, he couldn't express himself, and to the point where his father would beat him, and he wouldn't even feel it. His body is just like, Dad, when are you gonna be done beating me, bro?
Natural.
Like he was already in high school and beating. And he was just like looking at his dad. Are you done?
He numb to that already.
Numb.
Huh?
And then the dad was like, shoot, what do I do now? I can't beat this kid because he's not feeling it. And so he stopped beating his kid. But can you imagine over and over trying to stand up for yourself, trying to even identify what emotion you're feeling, try to identify what you're thinking. Now all of a sudden that's shut down. And then we are stalled in our emotional growth because we weren't able to verbalize that or to
Emotional
pinpoint that.
growth.
Name it to tame it is one of my favorite things to say.
Oh,
You
man, I
gotta
wanted to-
name it.
I saw that and I wanted to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
No, I wanted you to elaborate on that. Name entertainment. I saw that in on Instagram.
One of her workshops.
Yeah, or no, yeah, one of them. And I was like, man, what is that? But I like that saying.
So what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
What is that?
to
What are you talking
You gotta
about?
say it.
Name it. So you gotta name your emotions, right? A lot of times we feel things. Like I teach my clients how to really get to know themselves. We have grown adults in our community, both male and female, that are emotionally maybe 12, 13, 14, 15 years old.
Jeez.
Dang.
All because we weren't able to express ourselves in a healthy way because we were stalled or we were stopped by doing that.
Okay, can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Do you think the dad didn't love his son?
No, not at all. I think the dad loved his son. Now, what
It-
was he raised?
It was just the way he loved his son.
That's maybe the way he was
wait,
raised.
Cousin,
Wait.
Can you not interrupt me with me
Wait.
and her? I have this
Wait.
energy I feel right
Wait.
now, though. I'm about to get
Wait.
y'all.
Because we getting into it.
Let's go.
I know we're just going like kind of broad, but let's break it down. Cousin.
Yeah, cousin, come on.
Okay.
So let's talk about discipline because we've had another episode
Discussion about this.
when
yeah.
we talked about Polynesian men disciplining their Polynesian kids.
Yeah, you're right.
Before we give you our answer, let's hear yours.
Do you agree?
Is it necessary
To beat your kids?
not to beat but to discipline?
Define discipline.
Yeah, I was about to say you got to break down discipline there.
Yeah.
Dis-
tell me what
discipline
so
means-
like just like regular Polynesian discipline. Like I see my son go and touch something, I might tell him, "Hey, Kobe, stop. Kobe, stop." And then he he looks at me. He knows.
And
he's
he's
not
like
doing
looking at you while he's
Yeah.
doing it again.
And he's like, I'm just gonna,
It's
you know.
kids.
And then I slap his hand. Like
And
I
he
told you, I
cries,
told you.
though.
No,
That hurts
no,
him.
listen, this is simple. Like let's try to keep it simple. I
You
told
right.
him twice. He didn't want to do it. Now it's like, okay,
Discipline.
let me light your flesh a little bit on fire because the words isn't touching you right now. So
Ooh, speak on it, cousin.
that's just I might slap his hand. I
That's
might flick
right.
his ear. Now he's crying, but this just gets bigger and broader
that-
as they grow up, right? We know this.
That's right.
But is that okay in the Polynesian home? It's everywhere. But from a therapist standpoint, is that going too far? What do you guys say about it?
Good question, cousin.
Good question. If you know the developmental stages of your children and what they're able to comprehend and what they're not, then you discipline accordingly. And so you have to understand where they're at mentally because in their developmental stage. Because if you don't, here we are expecting our kids to be adults and to be like, behave in church, be quiet when they're just
an
naturally curious. You know,
The
my son is
kids.
12 now.
Yeah.
But when he was a toddler, he was a hellion,
listen.
like jumping off of places. Everybody remembers Bubba being super active, but that's just his developmental stage. He's not capable of reasoning, knowing logic, but we expect our children to
So
to
we
know
beat
that.
them to sit still.
So we beat them, and they're like, "Why am I being beat for being me?" Like,
I don't know any better. I'm supposed
I don't
to
know.
make mistakes, right?
Yes, and
I'm
so
supposed to steal her
for the
candy out of her
parents-
purse and give it to you, Dad.
I'm
I
supposed
appreciate
to pull
you.
her hair. Yeah, that's what my son would do.
Money.
He would pull his cousin's hair and wait till she cries. But he's not like that anymore. But
He's
we
a kid,
have to,
right?
for parents out there, you have to understand their developmental stage and then parent accordingly. And so
So
do
let
your
me-
research.
so let me-
Don't be triggered by your little toddler like jumping off the table when he's just being curious, right?
You're right.
That's what a
do you
2-year-old's
do?
gonna do.
Yeah, that's what a 2-year-old's gonna do.
So going off of that, do you think our parents, because I look at it like they taught us old school, right? But do you think they only taught us because that's the way they only knew, was beating us for us to teach us? Do you think that's what it was?
That's what it is.
And you think that brings trauma to us poly kids now because we don't have nowhere to talk to, nobody
Okay,
to talk
but
to?
wait. We're talking about that, and cousin. But can we talk about like the good that comes out of it, like respect?
I feel that. No, I
Right?
agree
Like-
with you,
like-
cousin. Disciplining
like,
me, I agree with it
I'm not
100%.
saying like beat them, but like just looking at like the broad, like you look at Balangis, you look at Polynesians,
Right.
like
I just gotta
like
laugh.
I'm just saying,
Yes.
like when our parents are somewhere
Different.
we're not doing certain things because that's our parents. Like we could be adults, like how we are right now.
Right.
I ain't gonna do certain things because I know my mom's out there,
You ain't
my
lying.
auntie's out there. But what is that? Because I got beat up too much? That's why I'm thinking like that.
Good question, cousin.
That's an amazing question. I love that piece of our culture where we hit hard on respect. We hit hard on like respecting your elders. We're all about family.
Love.
Love is a big piece. It is a big piece. Now, when when you meet people, you're just like that are outside of your culture. You're like, damn, we good.
something
You know what I'm
special.
saying?
We're
We
amazing.
got something
Polys
special.
are
We were
very
raised
special.
right in a way.
And that's the beauty of our culture.
Yeah.
The beauty of our culture. But with every beauty, there comes a shadow piece.
Oh,
But
okay.
look, Celia,
There's
that's what I'm
a
trying to
shadow
say.
Hey,
piece.
go
The
ahead. Talk,
discipline's the shadow.
talk your ish, Celia. Talk your
Yes,
ish.
but, what do we hear a lot? I mean, we're good.
We're good.
We're good. We'll we'll keep the peace. I won't talk back. But what does that do inside?
Messes
Over
up- it
and
messes
over and
us
over.
up.
It's
So that
eating
when
me up.
something little happens, oh, you hear about a poly on the news,
Yeah.
like losing his temper.
You're in line. Suspended from school
Bottled
for
feelings.
fighting.
You guys, bottled feelings is real. Like if you're gonna like dismiss yourself and not speak your truth over and over and over again, guess where it's gonna be held? In your
Inside.
body
not good.
somewhere.
Okay.
To the point where something will just tick you off and you're gonna go ham. That's why you hear a lot of poly people seeing red. You know, something happened and they just saw
They just
red,
get triggered.
and they don't even remember what happened.
Or it's not even. It has nothing to do with them, but because they kept it in, something pops off, and then they do something really, really bad.
Yes. Or this particular the clients that I had in my office with their children. This is how it presented. So he had trauma, right? It would present in ways that he would over discipline his children because his anger in here wasn't
I
processed.
see where you're going with this.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or
It's,
No, I
it's
get
the
it.
over this. Yeah,
So
I
now
see what
it's
you
not only
mean.
affecting him. it's
Yeah, he's
affecting
not just
Now-
disciplining his son now,
Yes.
cousin.
People close
He's
to him.
mad. He's disciplining
is
him
seeing
he.
red.
That's right.
it's not
Of
so much
anger now.
about
He's
his
disciplining
kids
out of anger now
out of
instead
anger.
of disciplining.
Yes.
It's
his
like
son
me
for
when
the
I
kid.
tell my kids. Obviously, I
Anyways, we're gonna
discipline.
move on to a commercial. We'll be right back.
It's easy, but poor discipline. It's red.
Okay.
But
what was
yeah,
it?
so look, some great conversations right now. But we're gonna-
Okay. Look, I
Yeah.
got one for you, cousin. So we're just talking about like keeping these emotions suppressed, right?
that's right.
A question I have for you, Celia, is a lot of times a lot of spouses like to go and release their baggage on their spouse, feeling like they're getting whatever they're keeping in out. Is that a healthy way to go about it or not? 'Cause
No,
I feel like your spouse is your best friend, right? You telling your best friend anything, but they don't have the professional keys that other people
there you
have
go.
to help you recover. Yeah, you can throw your baggage on me, but now I feel like when I do that to my wife, now it's not just my baggage. Now I'm throwing my baggage on you. Now you thinking about my baggage when you at work when you shouldn't have even been thinking about it.
Ooh.
Is that
Yeah.
good or bad?
Yeah, you tell us.
It depends on the information that you're sharing. You know, if you take a couple that, you know, maybe this is stereotypical, I know, but the husband is suffering from maybe addiction to porn or sex. You're not gonna want to tell your wife everything that is
That's
going
what I
on.
was- I
Because
feel
Because it's gonna
you.
hurt her feelings.
That's
She doesn't know
right.
that. She doesn't need to know the details. So you go to a professional. The same thing if you're gonna break your knee. Are you gonna go to your wife and be like, "My knee hurts.
You can go to the
My
doctor.
ACL is torn."
Okay.
She's gonna be
See
like,
what she going? She man.
Okay.
she's
There's
gonna be
a
like,
right-
"You need to go to a
She
doctor."
dropping
Ooh.
jewels right now.
Drop some
cousin.
jewels
Alright.
right now.
I
You need to go to a
feel
doctor.
you.
I like that.
Go to the
So if
professionals.
it's trauma or if it's something like you can't expect your spouse to heal your trauma because it's a lot more intricate than just sharing it, and that's what you guys all need to know. And the audience is sharing trauma doesn't necessarily mean healing trauma. You're just sharing it. Just
Okay.
like showing everybody you got a broken knee. Are they going to fix it? No, you got to go to a professional to get surgery.
Yo, sharing trauma doesn't fix it, y'all.
No,
so,
it doesn't.
So always have. That's why always have your best friends.
So
Because you can talk to
Yeah, there
them
you go.
about your husband, your mama, your baby mama.
And to those sharing it on media too, keep that off the media, especially poor.
yo.
Shares too much.
You are. I'm gonna call
Share
that a
all
lie.
those
So what they're really
information.
trying to say is just hit up Celia, go to the
Yes.
IG, get you an appointment, and get right.
Growing up, therapist. I thought it was just like it's just someone just to listen, not heal. It's just someone to listen. Okay. You just said that when you're hearing all that drains you, and you want to recharge your battery and everything, and you're going through that day in, every day, Monday through Friday,
12 years.
going in over and over and over. Now, I've had friends tell me, "Oh, you should go therapy. You should go therapy." And sometimes I hear that their therapists have therapists. Is that true?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That is true.
tight.
Y'all, I have a therapist and I
Why?
have clients that are therapists. Why? Because there's things that I need to talk about as well that I need to process that I know that I need to go to and you know, as a therapist, I'm gonna hunt down a really good therapist.
Of course.
You know?
For sure.
You want the best.
And when you're searching for a therapist, you want to look up their profile, look at what they specialize in, because there's different specialties. And so for me, yes, I have a therapist, and I have like a handful of therapists that I see in my office.
That's crazy.
Because
I
just
would
because I'm
never
a
thought
therapist,
that.
you guys, doesn't mean I don't suffer from trauma, or I don't have traumatic experiences that I need to work through.
You don't?
All right. And we can't have that mentality as therapists. I'm like,
That's
I'm also
cool.
human,
That's crazy.
and I'm not, you know,
Look, you
doesn't
just messed me
mean-
up with
yeah,
that.
you ain't lying. You
it
messed me up too.
doesn't mean that I'm like,
Okay, but look, but from us, like from the outside,
Yeah.
we're thinking like she's a therapist. Like, hey,
She got it all.
she got it.
She ain't never gonna go through
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but like she knows how to solve
Yeah,
her,
you're good.
her own
Yeah.
things.
Her own issues,
But-
her own problems.
Hearing that's
That's
and
tough.
it's so
And it's-
nice,
it's
and
true.
it's so nice to have
I bet.
someone, you
You can
know,
just
that I
go
can just
in.
be like, hey, can I come see you today
Ooh.
or tomorrow? What's your schedule like? And you know, I don't go often, but I do go whenever I'm like, okay. I
Oh,
need to talk
okay.
to my
See, when
girl.
Superman tells his wife he's going somewhere, okay.
He goes to the other
To the-
place. and-
That's a thing. Superman, you need
Sorry.
to stop it.
Amy,
all right?
if he's with us, he's good. But he's
If
with
he
someone
tells
else,
you,
I don't know.
he is lying. All right, he doesn't have no other friends but us.
Baby, this is my last episode. This is my last episode, I promise you.
Anyway, okay, so that's cool that
That's
you said that because to me, honestly, yeah, I was like, why would you need one? Like, you know what I mean? You're the therapist. Like,
Trust
why
me
would-
though, like
But that's cool that
some of the tools that I've learned
Now-
and picked up,
now is
Love
that
therapy.
I've used myself. So when I teach it, I'm like, this works. There's some things that I've learned and applied, and it saved my life.
So I
But
was gonna get into that.
there's-
Okay, so what I'm saying is, has there been like a session when you're sitting there across from somebody, and they tell you something like dark or whatever, and it physically like it made you like different, like it made you feel exactly what they're going through, but that you had to go talk to somebody about that. Like you're saying, man,
Oh,
they.
I got you.
Do you know what I'm trying? What am I trying to
It
say,
messed you
cousin?
up so bad that you had to go get therapy.
See
from
another
somebody
therapist.
else
Yeah, has
because
that
of
ever happened to you, or
something
is
someone
is
told
that
you?
even a real thing? I don't know. I just
No, that's called secondhand trauma. When you hear someone's story and
So
it
it is a
affects you
real
that
thing.
bad, that's called secondhand trauma.
like secondhand smoke.
Yes,
So
like you hear a
stop
story.
smoking around Superman, so he stops
I don't
getting.
even
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bishop. I don't even smoke. I don't know what he's talking.
Oh, wait. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so that's
Secondhand
secondhand
trauma.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a real thing.
For me personally, have I ever had to go to a therapist to process stuff that I've heard? No.
Okay.
But it's come to a point where after the session, I have bawled all the way home. And it's usually, you know what the story is usually about? They're kids.
Oh, I bet.
And so
Yeah.
so when
no
I
way to
hear
not
about
be
kids' stories
attached.
and
Yeah.
that stuff, because I have kids,
kids.
especially when they're the same age as my kid, and I'm like,
You think about your kids.
That's
I
different.
there
That's
was one,
different.
I don't usually cry on my way home, but there was one specific incident where she did tell me her story of her daughter, and I
Wow.
almost wanted to throw up, and I got into my car after the session, and I just bawled, and that was me thinking about my daughter,
Yeah.
my 11-year-old daughter, and I'm like, oh freak, that's heavy.
I'm pretty sure you've had patients, you had people that, just sit there and go like, are blaming everybody else and blaming a lot of things in their life. How do you just reverse that and like, man, this is something that you need to go back and this is your fault.
Yeah.
This is, and how
And
do
you have to be so careful.
You have to. I bet you have to be so.
You have to.
Yeah,
You gotta watch
Yeah,
your
because
words.
Don't
you
you
know,
ever
but-
want to
obviously
just say
then-
like,
You
you
have to.
dumbass? Think about it.
Never.
I obviously
Never?
no, but
Never.
like, I'm
Don't
pretty
lie,
sure.
Celia.
Yeah.
I know there had to be one person like,
No, because
no.
She texts Kaggy. Fucking shit.
Aggie's my girl. She knows a lot.
Okay, you're a real professional. Sorry.
But like you don't want to do that because and rapport is a big thing with therapists. You can't just outright say that in the first session.
Mm.
Now you have to be able to make that connection, and you have to have you asking that question from a space of love. And they by that time they know that you're in it because you love them, and they have that connection. I'm not gonna be like, oh, so what does this say about you when you were sexually abused, right? Nah, you can never say
I
that.
see what you mean.
You can't. You have to be very careful with that. But when they do get to a point where they've progressed to that understanding, and we have that connection, I can ask that. Because those are real questions that are going to help propel them to the next level. I wouldn't be doing them a service if I didn't ask that question.
Okay.
Because at some point, you got to own up to your life.
Yeah.
You got to own up to
What
what's
do you
going
mean
on
by
in your
that?
life.
Like own up to your life. Like you gotta say some of it's your fault
Yeah,
as
like
a
all
person,
of it's
right?
You know,
Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean,
Like-
she didn't walk you through your life. I mean,
Yeah,
No, but
you-
what I'm going back to what she
No,
said about that client, about
it's-
the dad being like he didn't.
No,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
And
that's
why you
not
gotta
his
be careful.
fault. So
That's
that's what
why
I'm
you gotta
saying,
be
like,
careful because
You're right.
stuff
You know?
like that, it is not their fault, and you have to validate the hell out of them, like because they're growing up thinking it was their fault. So
Gotcha.
there's
That's what I-
differences,
yeah.
right? So there's points where you can use that, but at this time as an adult, where is this your fault? Where can you make not your fault necessarily, but where can you make decisions to choose a different path?
Okay, let me go off of that right now because you said you was an adult. Because sometimes, like, I see people, like, to me as mental health, like, to me it's okay when you're a certain age, but once you become like an adult, like, to me, I'm like, look, there's gotta be something in your head that tells you it's time to man up,
It's time to change.
time to change.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like, but what I'm trying to say is that some people never.
Wait, cousin, let me just see if I got this right.
Okay.
Are you trying to say like a full-grown man should not be feeling
Yeah.
that type of mental health?
I think like well to a certain extent, cousin, because I'm saying whatever you were going through, like
when you're a kid.
when you're a kid, there comes a certain point where when you're grown now, you have a family, you have a wife, where you gotta say, "Okay,
I know.
I
it's
need
right.
to stop making these excuses
know
like
it's
I
wrong.
used to,
Yeah.
and now I need to own up to it." Is what
Well,
I'm
yeah, and it's not working. Me beating my son up, it's not working.
maybe
It's
try a
not.
different route.
And
is
so
what you're
that's
saying.
where the question comes, like, okay, what does this say about you, right? Where can you switch things up? Because yes, your dad maybe beat you all the way up until you were an adult,
Yeah.
but you're an adult now. You can make these different decisions, and there's research to back you up. Like there's hella
I
research.
see. So there shouldn't be no excuse, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
In a way.
But
In a way.
Yes, in a way. But usually when I get these, my clients in my office, especially Polynesian men and females, it's usually it's a life-threatening event. So divorce or
Okay.
Some big stuff.
something
lose the
big,
kids.
something big to where they're
Okay.
like, I have to change. Otherwise, I'm going to lose something so precious to me.
I feel like sometimes
It
has to happen.
right? Otherwise, it's like smooth sailing. We good.
That's
Yeah.
like circle
We
of
good.
life, right? Like
Right.
at times, like my mom and dad are gonna pass away, but that's just one of those things, you got to get over, right? Like it's gonna happen.
Dude, that's one of the things I hate talking about. Cousin.
Right?
Like I hate thinking that, and I hate talking about that.
Okay, look,
Because I
I
know
know.
it's gonna happen.
I know, and you don't really know what it's like until you
That's
you
what I
mean.
experienced
That's
it,
what I
Yeah,
mean.
for
You know what I
real, for
mean?
real.
and you don't wish that upon anybody.
For
No.
sure. Okay, wait. Look, I got
Anyways,
another
yeah.
one.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You got one?
No, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Mine will be fast. Mental health. Every time I think of mental health, I always think of depression. Like depression's like the first thing that pops up in my head. But like for real, I didn't believe in depression until like 5
Speak
years
on
ago. Like, let me just give you my headspace.
Okay.
Like, I'm a man now. I got my own kids. I have to work.
Married.
They have to eat. I have to have a place for them to stay. Like, if I ever thought to myself, like, to feel bad for myself about something, like, to me, I'm being selfish because I'm
Yeah.
not giving my attention to my
100,
kids, right?
100.
So when I'd see other men complaining about similar things that I had to do, to provide for my own, I'm not saying that I'm better than them, but what goes on in my mind is, it's not about you no more, my guy. It's about the people you're trying to help, your wife, that's your best friend, right? Your kids, these little humans that look up to you, they don't know any better. All they know is dad has to bring back the money
Yeah.
so I can eat my they don't
That's
even know
right.
that part, but
No,
that's
you ain't
what
lying.
that's what the dad knows, right?
Mm,
So like my question to you is
I
is
feel you,
depression
cousin. Real?
something that we created for ourselves? Because I feel like I was talking with my. Sorry, I'm just rambling. But
No, go ahead, cousin. Go ahead.
I was talking to one of my first cousins today. Siwa, shout out Siwa, and we were talking about it like lightweight, and I'm like, isn't it funny how we can like complain about silly things here and really be mentally messed up about it, versus kids in Africa where he served his mission that are just thinking about their next meal. Like they don't have that privilege to feel depressed
They don't have
about
time.
not having clothes, because they're thinking about the next meal, survival. And so, like, what is this? What is depression?
Is it real?
Really
I
good
mean,
question.
I know it's a real thing, but
No, really good question. I think, well, first off, depression is real. The difference between depression and sadness is depression lasts longer than 2 weeks, and then you start falling off. Like you stop doing the things that you loved initially, and then it keeps going deeper and deeper, and then it starts to affect your job, your family, and your personal life, everything.
what was that one called?
What depression?
What type of depression did you say?
That's just depression.
Oh, that's just
that
okay.
That's just a
The
definition
stages
of
you're saying that's
depression.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
It's just different from sadness. Sadness is just, oh, I'm feeling sad. Depression is continual like sadness,
getting
and then
worse.
things start dropping off. Your, extracurricular activities, things that used to make you happy, it's not even making you happy anymore. It's a real thing. And here's the thing, like you brought up the comparison of kids in Africa. We live in America, and we're taught from the time we're born, especially if we're raised here in America, to look outside of ourselves. We have these gadgets that
we got laptops.
we have everything that really
computers.
teaches us to look outside of ourselves for answers. And the more we do that, we lose touch of what's inside.
Hey,
You,
Big facts.
I like it.
Big
I like
facts.
that.
yeah. And so we can't,
Shout out to 'em, man.
if we were in Africa, they don't have these
They don't.
things.
Yeah, they don't have.
So
okay.
sometimes, thinking about our next meal is the best thing for us. Right? Because we're not thinking about, oh my gosh, who liked my thing? How many followers do I have? Oh my gosh, they did it. And we're now seeing more bullying through these gadgets. And it's
Hey, for real.
this younger generation is going
Oh
through
my
more anxiety,
gosh.
more
Oh
depression
my gosh.
because they're looking outside
Wait.
of themselves.
Oh my
We're
god.
diving into some right now, but
Yeah, I want to
we're
get
just
into
gonna
that.
get into it because we're talking about it. But
Yes.
so could you say that depression is like times 10 or times 50 because of technology, like Instagram?
It has to be.
Everyone's posting their lives highlights and everyone's comparing to each other, right? Even though you
It's
guys
research.
are my friends, I'm like, hey, look what Superman's doing.
Yeah, studies show.
We should go over there. Then we compare, right? Like technology is just making it
No,
worse.
You're right.
Yes, it is.
And I want to get into that too, because just going off of him
Mm-hmm.
and like how you brought up the next generation. So I think like our kids, right? I had a conversation with these two about it where my dad and mom doesn't do what I do to my kids now, where I sit my kids down and talk to them.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Where my son's in a room and he shuts the door and I know something's wrong. Instead of me kicking the door down and say, "Why you shut your door?" and beat him, I said, "Hey, what's going
I
on?"
love that.
You know what I mean? But
Superman,
what I'm
now
asking,
he talks.
what I'm asking you, what I'm asking you about this is,
Liar.
does that make me a weak dad?
No.
Okay.
You say yes.
She said no. He said yes.
I love you, Superman.
Because look, Celia's gonna tell you no, but me and Superman gonna
so
say
this
yes.
this is what I'm saying, because like just going off of that, because I feel like, and I asked these two, I said I do feel weak, and I told them the way my mom and dad love me, I feel like they love me. They loved me by doing what they had to do. I feel like I don't love my kids by not disciplining them like my dad and my mom did me. I don't love my kids by having them work like the way I was working growing up, going to yate with my dad, and you know what I mean. Like I feel like I'm a bad dad by
Really?
not doing those. No, I'm saying, should I feel like that?
No. I don't think you should.
This was a serious.
I'm
No,
not.
I love that.
Yeah, no.
I love that because your kids need to be talked to, not
Like that.
beaten up. We just talked about that, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to beat your kids up for having feelings
Oh, okay.
or for expressing? They feel
Facts.
safe to express it to you. You're
You're
lucky.
Ooh.
Say,
Hey,
why?
I'm on the
Why?
same
Why you
wavelength.
saying that?
No, for real. Because
Why you saying
Because
that?
kids,
Bro.
usually if they're scared of you, they won't
They're-
open up.
You're not the therapist, so-
like my client, right? His dad would beat him to the point where he was numb.
Okay, but look,
We tell
Like-
shit.
it's your mom and dad. You ain't gonna tell your mom and dad like, hey, look,
That's what I mean.
you remember my
cousin.
girlfriend? Yeah, we did this thing.
That's what I
You
mean.
ain't gonna say that to your mom
You,
and
you
dad.
think my son's gonna tell me that?
That's what
'Cause
she's saying. So if he come and tell you something, you're
It's like,
lucky.
hey, did you ever see that? I don't know if it was on Instagram, but I think
Okay,
it was
cousin,
Mel
I see what you
Robbins.
mean.
She said, I don't want my kids to be scared of calling me when they need a ride. I want them
Yeah.
to say I need to call mom
like at a party or something.
at a party or something. Like it's if you think about it, it's a matter of life and death.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Okay,
No,
so
that's
so you're saying, okay, so the way that I'm raising my kids now, you're saying we have to raise them like that. We can't raise them the way our parents raised us, right? Because it's
All the
different. It's
way?
different now, right?
like a little physical.
Yeah, that's what I'm
man.
saying, like-
Sometimes they just need. I love you.
No,
dog.
what do
know,
you
come-
think?
Like, come here. I love
Hey.
you, son. You know why I hit you, right?
You know, my dad never really hit us.
Yeah.
Like he used the belt on me maybe twice because I was one of the younger ones.
That's what I'm
After my
saying,
older
the girls,
siblings,
the-
though, it
yeah.
was different.
The oldest,
Whooping them.
the
The
oldest
oldest
ones
ones
always
get
get
it.
it.
The oldest ones always
Always
get
get
it the
it.
most,
Yes.
right? And so I was fortunate that way. And so I think I am more talkative. My girls would come over in high school and be like, "You're so disrespectful to your mom." I'm like, "Really? I'm just asking her questions. I'm having a dialogue with her. I'm having a conversation to like,
talking
what-
about
that's disrespectful.
Because that looks bad. 'cause
That
you're
looks bad, and they're not
poly.
used to it.
Oh my!
All my girls would be like, "You're
okay,
a brat."
I like this.
That's
Now,
in
let's
the
keep
culture,
going.
though. That's in
I'm
the
known as a
culture.
brat in
Hold
my
on.
circle because of that reason.
Yeah. Stop interrupting. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's the tone, though,
That's,
right?
That's
Yeah,
the
and-
culture, though.
It's
like,
the tone.
you don't talk back to your mom, bro.
Yeah.
Your mom says they're gonna do something, you just go do it.
Yeah.
So you were one of those.
No, because I'm saying.
No,
mom, I ain't doing it.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, "Mom, why? Why do you want me to do that?"
Oh my
okay.
God! If I was one of your brothers, I'd be like, "Mom, you need a slipper. Or you need the
I know, but I'm
Nah,
known as
that's-
the brat in my friend group because they're like, "Sil, why are you talking to your mom like
you
that?"
crazy.
I'm like, "Dude, I'm having a conversation. She's
feel
not
you.
getting.
know.
She's not
I
like
feel
getting
you.
angry at me
Yeah,
for
okay.
talking to her. That's one thing I'm grateful my mom did was she fostered that like talk to me about things, right?
Okay, so look, going off of that, that's kind of
dope.
how I am as a parent, right? My oldest son, he going to adult, right? He has this little attitude thing with him, right? And every time I tell him to do something, that's what. Why? Or I tell him, hurry up. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Or do that. Okay, I know how to do it, right? And my wife is like, you need, and I'm over there. I'm like, no, let him chill, because to me, I'm like, it's not hurting me by,
Saying
yeah. But to my brother-in-law, he's like, you should kill that guy.
go get him. Yeah, go get him right
You know what I
now.
mean? You should never talk to you like that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I feel, like I said, the question, I feel like, am I doing my job
Yeah.
right?
Is your son relaxed around
He
you?
is.
Period. That's
He's
all
chilling.
He
you need.
lying.
You know what I'm saying?
So like me, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I yell at my kids, they low key get scared. But don't get me wrong, I have a conversation afterwards when I'm upset or whatever it is. I'm
When-
not
when he's
beating
laying
the
in
hell
the-
out of them.
Yeah,
He's
for
laying in
sure.
the
But
hospital
yeah, I'm saying,
bed.
hey, don't. Obviously, I don't. Hey, it's like more my presence,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, they're scared. Oh, dad's coming through.
But that
I'm
should be
getting
like
mad.
that, though,
I
right?
come in,
Yeah.
but then don't get me wrong. I said that, and then afterwards, I bring them in. I'm like, you know why
I
you
love
got
that.
yelled at.
Oh.
You know why I did this, right? And then we move forward.
So when they're in the hospital bed, you go in there and you said,
And I say,
you know exactly
You know I love
why
you, right?
you're laying
Yeah.
in here.
You know why I love
You
you,
know why
even though
one
I
of
beat
your
the hell out
eyes,
of you.
one of your eyes is not there.
and I just
But-
took the plug. And,
I told you what. I'm just playing. But okay, so I like that.
And here's the thing: are you disciplining from a space of love or
There
from
you
a space
go.
of fear?
We gotta
Yeah.
talk about
But we
that.
always
Yeah.
want to say love, right?
Yeah, but
you
you
got-
know,
But you're trying to put fear in
see
your
that pattern.
kids.
That pattern though
Yes.
was a lot of our parents. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you, but we're gonna have a 4-hour conversation after of why I beat you and
That's
why
what
I
I'm
love
saying.
you.
Facts. Big facts.
Right?
Yeah.
I've heard that many times.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
right?
yeah, I
Not the
almost
way.
killed you, but you know why,
Yeah,
right?
no,
'Cause I
hey,
love you.
Hey, real talk.
You love
though.
me? That's
yeah.
why you
And they're like, and they're so confused. I'm like, how are you
Yeah,
gonna,
you're like
how
a
you gonna almost
6-year-old.
kill me and
Yeah.
say you love me?
6-year-old, you're like,
That's
bro, you
hella
had the
toxic.
extension cord. And
I
I'm
haven't even
like,
got baptized,
But
Dad.
look, I know we all
You know?
jokes and everything, but again, I always say,
are you having flashbacks?
no. I always
You
say,
okay?
I'm glad I'm glad my mom beat me.
Yeah,
Me
you
too,
always
though.
say
I
that.
always say I'm glad my mom beat me because I made those stupid decisions when I was growing up, and like we always say, maybe they don't know better, right? And maybe this generation needs to break off of that and start a new.
We'll be the bridge.
You
yeah,
have to.
right?
To the
Because
new
there's
world.
new factors playing in.
Right.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
facts.
So again, like I don't want to sit there. We all joking and laughing, but growing up, I used to always sit there and say, "Man, you know what? I'm glad my mom beat me." We say beat, but other cultures and beating is bad, but not to the point of death, but like just beating because I made a
Discipline.
stupid
Say
decision.
discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah, discipline. Because I snuck out the house or I stole something at school or something like that. And when
Keep going. What else did you do?
Psyop
Like,
people.
don't stop there now.
That's why.
that's about it.
Just
That's
tell everybody.
that's about it.
Hey,
But look, so, man, that you saying that, like, you're glad your mom, like, because I agree with you. That just sounds like we need help. Like, that's a cry for help, right? Like, you saying, I'm glad my mom hit me. That just sounds like to me, like, bro, you need, like, I'm
Well,
not saying you do, but I'm just saying,
hold on.
just saying that.
If I'm sitting there saying I'm glad that she hit me, right?
Yeah.
If it was another situation, I'm glad she yelled at me. That's still me crying for help.
I see what you mean, sure.
Yes or no?
No
I'm
matter
just
what
saying.
it is.
I'm just saying, like,
No, I
to
don't
somebody
hear
out
your
there,
cry
they'd
for
be
help.
like, "Damn, that kid sounds like he needs therapy because he thinks
No,
It
but
could be
cousins,
discipline
look,
is okay."
That's the outside world.
That's what I'm
though.
trying to
But
say.
we
It could
live
be
in
two.
the-
It could be two ways.
Speak
like,
on it. What do you mean?
I mean, like maybe you've suppressed those feelings because, okay, I want you to go back there and validate your, however old you were, and validate that 10-year-old self. Was he like, oh, I'm so glad she's beating me right now?
No.
Because, like,
Never feel it
The
like that
10-year-old
in the
self, I don't
time.
think he was glad that your mama was
No.
beating you. And that's the thing with this Polynesian male. I'm going to refer back to him because he was also like, I am glad. And so we went back and we validated. His 10-year-old self came and he was bawling. He was bawling because
look,
his
Celia.
mom beat him. And I'm not saying it's the same situation for
No,
you. I'm
no,
saying it's one of
look,
two
you probably-
ways.
Look,
So
Celia,
that,
look.
or like you really have processed through it and you're like, I see the gift in that. In that pain.
Yeah, I think
Look,
that's what he's
that's what-
coming
Yes,
from.
that's
and,
what
that,
I'm trying to
and so
say.
there's two ways. I'm
Shut
not gonna
up.
say it's one way or the other, but there's two ways that it
Turn
could
his
be,
mic.
bro.
Turn his mic off.
In-
Do you see where I'm coming from?
In the time,
No,
like
I
of
do.
course you're gonna hate it.
I
right?
appreciate it.
Like you ain't gonna like it in the time, but like now that you're a man, now that
Yeah,
you know
you're
that there's certain
thankful
things
for
that
it.
See
you
the
need
You're
gift
to
in
do.
it,
You're
right?
right.
Now you know, right?
Okay, cousin. I see what you mean, cousin.
Hey,
I love you, Mom.
Hey, for
let,
real.
let me
though.
get into something though.
Yeah.
Okay, so in our culture, I know it's taboo, but we don't talk about it anyways because we got therapists in here.
You're right.
Let's get it.
Why are these things that happen to children or anybody, anything that sexually happens like within the family,
Ooh, yeah.
they don't talk about it? Like we know, right? We know, we hear these stories, all this and that, and like how it can affect people and make them do things when they're older and whatnot. But in our culture, Celia, I know you had to have so many Polynesian people come up in there and be like, my uncle did this or my auntie did that, and it's like,
Yeah.
It just gets
Why
swept under the rug.
why do we do that?
Does.
And why can't we talk about it?
Yeah, you gonna want to go there, cousin, right now?
Why not? We
Let's
got
go.
the therapists in here.
Let's
You want to
man.
go
go.
this?
Yeah.
Let's go.
These
then.
are the people
Here's
that
the
need to
thing.
hear it.
You in line?
I've had many clients in my office talk to me about their sexual trauma, uncle, brother, cousin. And you know what's more traumatic than the actual act is when they go to a parent and their parent says, shh, don't tell anybody.
Dang.
That's big facts.
You know what I mean? And that's more traumatic for them than the actual trauma. And so
You know how
it is
hurt I
a
would be?
big problem.
So the kid's building enough courage.
Yes.
They don't want to tell a
Yes.
soul.
And it's already like enough courage. Like they're already like scared to tell. But they know what's wrong and they got to tell somebody. So who do
And
they tell?
The
Their
most trusted
parent.
and
people
dad.
that they
and then
love.
the mom and dad say,
Yes.
shh.
Shh. Don't tell.
Why?
Don't tell anybody. Oh, it goes back to respect.
Ooh.
Respect. Family.
Shit.
She's
That's no
family.
respect.
Oh,
That's no
shit.
respect.
She
in
got
that.
us today, cousin.
Do you feel it though? Is
Yeah.
that am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah.
You right?
Because
You
I
hella
gotta
right.
respect my
I
family.
respect my
we
mom.
got to respect my mom, and we also have to respect the family because they're our first cousins, and that's shame on our family.
Yep.
I like that you said that. We're gonna talk,
Yeah.
man.
Shame and guilt on our family.
ain't
We gotta
lying.
hush
Hey.
hush.
You ain't
And we're a
lying.
culture that we love to present well.
Yeah.
We're the happy people of Tonga, and if
We
we
forget-
are sad, we're weak.
We forget that the person that went through that drama is,
Yeah,
Suffering.
is suffering big time.
and we over here just saying it's okay. You should be all right.
It's okay. It's okay. Just you'll be okay.
Fucking
Just
Uncle
shh.
Bully.
Uncle
You seen that movie, huh? Cuz?
So it's
Okay.
a really touchy subject, you know.
Yeah, we are.
but
That really is to
Okay.
me. Like
But
that
I'm
gets
all
under
about
my
it.
skin.
Like,
I
I
feel
love
you.
talking about
Like,
this stuff.
I like-
This is
that's
what I
what's
do.
up.
So anybody out there that like feels like they can't approach someone,
Yeah,
what are
yeah.
your steps to them to try to get that trauma out of them?
Because they need to talk.
They need to talk
it,
about
They're
it.
right?
scared. They don't know who to go to. They don't know if mom and dad's safe. What would you say as a therapist? What's their best outlet to try
Shoot,
to
for real. We might be having someone watching right now. That,
Yeah,
you
no.
know,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
don't even
Oh,
know how
I
to.
guarantee it happens so much in our culture. Or it happens all the time and
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Find someone that you feel safe enough with and tell them. Start speaking your truth and start with the person you feel safest.
No matter who done
No
it to
matter
them, right?
what,
Whoever
yeah,
disrespect and they think you're
share it.
Yeah, you in because you're the one going through it.
You're the one going through it, and if you bottle that up, and it's gonna present somewhere down the line in your life.
Damn.
You gotta let it free. You gotta talk about it. And client experience, something happened to her where a family member did it to her. She came into my office. We did the modality with trauma, but she was able to overcome it. Now, had she not come in and talked about it,
Maybe not. Huh?
she was so traumatized by it. But this is common. So her
Yeah.
coming into my office and to a professional, you eventually want to get to a professional
Yeah.
because they have the tools, just like you would a doctor, to help you go through that trauma in a very specific way.
Hey, yeah, but for real though, man. On some
That's
some
tight.
serious note, man.
Yeah.
To my Polynesian people, man, male, female, man. Please, man, talk about it, man.
Get some
we need
help,
to,
man.
yeah.
Talk
Hey,
about
we
it.
need because the only way we can heal this is by talking about it. And I know a lot of us don't want to talk about it.
Right.
But please feel free to come on here and we'll talk about it.
Hey, that's the old age. Like we here now. We can talk
Yeah,
about
man,
this.
we're
Let's
trying to-
not
Talk
man,
about
for
let's
it.
not
real.
make it taboo anymore.
Yeah,
like in our
man.
people, whatever.
And how-
Because our people's loving anyways, man. This type of stuff just separates us, man. We need to come back together as people. And if that what it takes to talk about it, let's talk about it, man. It's just a conversation, man. And if it saves your life, let's have that conversation, man.
Hey, you ain't lying. I'm just gonna say real quick because dude, I had a best friend in junior high and she was a girl and something happened to her, right? And I just could tell right off the bat she's not the same. She's always sad, she's always gloomy, she's not herself anymore. And like I would ask her every day, like, what's going on? You good? You good? You good? Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right. I already knew nothing was good. But like just seeing like how it affected her, and that's just
Changed
like,
her, huh?
yeah, there's got to be worse cases than that. But eventually she came out and told me, but I was like, I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, damn, like I feel bad, like my bad. I don't know how to help you right now, but that's why I want to talk about it because there's kids out there, there's people out there
Line,
that are,
Adults, yeah.
not living their life because
They're hiding behind something.
it's draining them. So go find that help.
Yeah.
Hit up Celia. We're gonna
Yeah.
drop
Hey,
the
but let me
IG in
get
there.
back to you, Celia.
Yeah, let's go.
What is it that you? What is that? Like, what am I at? Like, what is it that you're a profession at? Like, what is your?
Specialty?
Yeah, there
There
you
you
go.
go.
Thank you. What are you special at when people look you up and they want to come? Because you said each therapist are special at something. What is Celia? What is your specialty on that people would look up and come find you?
Trauma. So my
Okay.
specialty is trauma and women's health.
Okay.
Women of color all over
That's
the
tight.
world come in and be like, I can relate to you. And you see that our cultures are almost similar.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Hispanic culture, the East Indian culture, the Native
Okay.
American culture, the African American
For
culture.
sure.
We can all relate because
Different culture, right?
different culture.
That's why you gotta stay culturally rooted.
Yay! Let's go.
Hey,
Anyways.
hey, we got 11,
Yeah. So,
11
anyways,
minutes. So
we know that. So why I don't even know what you said. Anyways, we'll cut that.
Get
So
it, get some
yeah.
culture
So
stuff.
So on our show, Celia, we go into a culturally, obviously, our podcast called Culturally Rooted. So I always ask our guests a question about our culture. And what mainly I ask our guests is, and now you being Polynesian, what is something in your culture that you believe in or that you think, okay, that's cool to have or pass on to my kids? And what's one thing that you're like, that goes on in my culture, but I do not want that passed on to my kids, or I do not want that for me to teach that? If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad. What's one thing you like and what's one
Favorite?
thing you
Yeah.
don't? Yeah. Being
Going back
Tongan
to-
and Maui.
Going back to my Maori roots, because I was taught a lot about that, is in my tribe, us women are warriors, and we are a women-dominant tribe. And so we call ourselves, Wahine Toa. So we're really strong women. I come from a lineage, both my Tongan and my Maori side, that is very strong. And so that's something that I really want to pass on to my children, is helping them remember who they are and where they come from. It's very unique, and we're unique, you guys.
Yeah, we are.
We come from these small islands.
Come on now.
And we are making waves in the world.
We're rare people.
Waves, big waves.
Talk that is.
And so we have to remember who we are and where we come from, to the detail, like who is our grandparents, what did they do, what do they stand for, what were some of the things that they overcame.
Those things matter.
Those things matter. Knowing my tribe, knowing my mountain, knowing my waka, knowing all those things has like really helped me to grow here in the United States.
Ooh. Hey, but not
culturally
even here.
rooted.
You go talk. Hey, you go talk
you
to
catch
someone in
that?
New Zealand and say like those things. They're gonna be like, "Oh, she really knows." Like she's talking about the mountain. She's talking about, you know what I mean. So it's like
I remember that part of me, and
Yeah.
it's a strong part of me. And even like my Tongan side, my beautiful grandmother, Anna Tekiata, she strong woman in faith, and it goes back in that lineage. It's beautiful. And so that faith and that warrior side is and that
Something you wanna pass
humility,
on?
it's in you.
it's in me, that warrior side. And that's something that I want to pass on. As far as what I don't want to pass on, let's see here. Just the whole shh mentality. I don't want my kids to feel like they need to be hushed. I want them to be able to speak their truth and to know that they can feel safe around me. Tell me whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm only here for a certain amount of time. But when I'm not here, you better believe I'm going to be your number one guardian angel. I'm not going to stop.
That's crazy. No, you're right.
You know, I'm going to be all up in there. And I, homage to my dad who has passed on. I feel him closer now that he's in spirit form. I feel him closer than if he were here physically. And so I wouldn't want to pass on the hush thing, the hush mentality of shh. You gotta respect me because I gotta talk to them. Yeah.
So obviously, we always do this is we do a question.
Yeah, rounds of questions. Yeah.
A question fire. Obviously, we'll just take a round. We'll do 2 rounds.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
You want to do 2
Cool.
or more?
Let's do 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. We should ask you 3 questions and you should answer it, and you have to answer it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Pass it.
Rapid fire
Really?
questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to
Okay.
answer it.
Yeah.
And
And if you don't, that means you need a therapist.
Okay.
I got one.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
When we start,
Yeah.
Sure.
if not a therapist,
Oh, great question.
what would you be?
I would probably be in business, more along the lines of accounting. So
Still with the numbers.
yeah,
Got you.
MBA, yeah,
Okay.
master's in business.
You're not
Doing my
really that
thing.
good at math.
All right.
Hey, let's
Celia.
put a problem out here right now.
Hey.
A mathematical
Hey, I'm
one.
I
pre-calculus
ain't
now.
doing it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you say?
He's still more. He's more elementary.
That's how I know you guys don't know. You guys
He's
ain't
more
up there.
math 900.
Freak out. Okay.
Still
Look. Let's go. Celia, we got an ongoing debate. It's been going forever
Oh.
since
Let's
we
hear it,
started
let's
this
hear it.
podcast. Who do you think's the GOAT of basketball between Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James?
Y'all, I grew up
Come on, man.
in New Zealand.
Come on, man. You know,
And-
Steven Adams?
And hear me out.
Okay.
Our number one man was Michael Jordan.
Hey,
They didn't have-
that's the right
And
answer.
he's-
But they
That's the
didn't
right
have
answer.
TV in New Zealand, so they
Yes,
really couldn't
sir.
see it. It was Charles Barkley, but
Michael Jordan. I gotta give it to Michael
Thank
Jordan.
you.
He was the number one.
Okay.
Who was
Smart,
before
dog.
Michael Jordan? Who?
Nobody.
But after Michael Jordan, then came these other goats.
because
I
there's
mean,
better players. There's better players. That's
but
right.
he was
I'll
the
take
best. Like, come
Baseball
on.
player? Yeah.
Let's
no.
go. Hey, good job, Celia.
Man, Michael Jordan's my
Whatever.
man.
Whatever.
MJ for life.
Whatever.
Go
All
ahead.
right, so I got my question.
Motive.
Okay.
What is Celia's favorite Polynesian food?
Ooh,
You can
I
eat
like
it all day.
the pudding, the dessert.
Oh,
Oh, the putene?
yeah, that's
my
fire.
favorite.
Or the wakakai.
Oh.
Yes, my ortopai. My dad makes it. Yeah, my dad used to make it.
Hey, they don't have that
yummy.
in Samoa. They have pani
I don't know. You're Samoan.
Hey, my kids are someone.
Okay. Let's go around. All right, come
Watch your mouth.
We love them.
on. That's right.
But yes, the pudding, everything dessert. Oh, that's my favorite.
Okay.
Sports. Obviously, we were just talking about sports. You play any?
I just played in high school volleyball, basketball, and I ran track.
Oh,
Just
Just.
did
volleyball,
all that.
basketball,
I like
just
how she
ran
just
track.
speed through that.
you
Just
know-
ran a little track.
Ran
Just
right through that.
I did it for the social life, you know. I'm like, oh, let's make friends here.
No,
Let's
That's
do that.
important, though.
You were good because she'd be playing with my wife, so they
For
be,
real?
yeah, they be balling
Aggie's
people up.
next level, but
Aggie's
she's
all
nice
right.
enough
She's
to
all
like,
right.
She bought. All right, let's see. Okay, I got one.
yeah.
Because you guys just came back from the Beyonce concert
Hey.
in Vegas.
Ask him.
Queen
Ask him,
bee.
cousin.
What was the
What
most
did you guys do?
No. What was the most fire song that she sang live for y'all? Because Aggie was showing me some videos, and I was like, damn.
Dude, I mean, every
Hold
song.
on. Look, you got.
but-
Look, I gotta bring this up because he asked you that question.
Yes.
You had his wife dressing up in the.
Yeah, I got that dress for her.
Hey, listen
Did
to
she
me.
look
Listen
hot
to
or
me.
what?
She
Listen to
needed
me.
that. She needed it.
Listen to me. I know Aggie. The shorts. You know. You know Ag. You know Ag.
We know
It's the
Ag.
basketball.
Yeah.
Just
Aggie,
hair
what
up.
are you doing now, Aggie?
Hey.
He's like, I don't know what
but
you're
I
talking
heard,
about.
I heard everybody was dressed up like.
Oh, you
Oh,
got to.
you
This,
got
this
to?
is a one
Go
life.
ahead, my
this
fault.
is a once
Go
in a
ahead,
lifetime
cousin.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone
All
over
right,
there
it's just Beyonce.
Oh.
Cousin.
Really?
I was getting
She's
hot.
the goat.
I-
Now
you ain't
talking about
lying.
goats, she's
No,
she's
you
an
ain't
entertainer.
lying.
She knows
You
how to
ain't lying.
dance. It's like being in a jam
You're
session
right.
with
You
her
ain't
because she's way better
And
live.
she's still doing it
Wait,
now.
no,
You
but-
know what I mean?
Best song. What was
Best
the best song she
Okay,
sang that night?
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Because I saw y'all just singing and dancing to hella songs, and I was like, lightweight jealous.
And she was like right there.
Yeah, she was close.
Stop.
Oh, they were
right.
Like, hella
I mean, like
close.
right there. She was right there.
Let me know whenever you want to
Go
meet
check
her. I got the
Celia's
direct
IG.
number
She
to
might
Jay
have some on
Z.
there.
My
Me and
favorite
Jay-Z.
song
Jay-Z's
was. But she loves him.
But she loves
That's right.
okay.
Cuff It. Cuff It's like my song.
Okay, y'all was getting
Yeah,
down.
Cuff It
Cuff
is
It
my
was
favorite
tight.
song
Aggie,
right now.
bitch, someone. Just kidding.
That's
Okay,
my
that's what's
song.
up. So, going off of that, I know you and cousin's wife go on a lot of hikes. What is your favorite hiking spot to go to?
that's a
And
good
shout
one.
it out
That's a
because
good
we
one.
trying to go on one too.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
good.
I don't know about hiking,
You got it.
but I go to the next.
We'll just get you the
eating
bike.
buffet.
Oh, yeah, we over there.
Sorry, go ahead.
The recent one we just did, Angel's Landing, was beautiful.
Where's that at? Is that out here?
That's
Angel
in
Landing.
St. George.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Science Park,
Those
National
pictures
Park.
were nice.
It is beautiful. It's like on a
Science
cliff. You
Park.
gotta hold on to a chain. You might fall, but
Okay,
you might die. But
Maybe we shouldn't go there.
but it's beautiful.
You might die.
Just kidding.
What?
Hey, you
It
know
is.
what?
It's beautiful.
Like going straight up mountains.
It's
You
nice though.
Yeah.
Zion.
But I also like our yearly Timpanogos hike that we do with the
Oh,
girls.
that's right.
Because it's 15. It's like it's
I've done that.
15 hours long.
I done
It's
that
like,
last year, cousin.
You know,
Yeah, I
all the
really
way
did.
up to
Dang.
Timpanogos.
Hey, I posted it too.
You lie.
Yeah.
You did it?
Yeah, I did it last year with
Did you go
my
to the peak?
with my coworker. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, for reals?
We had breakfast up
Superman.
there.
Remember, that's the one he said he went halfway and then he didn't go.
Yeah,
Stop lying to
Yeah,
me.
you
don't
lying.
gotta- You don't gotta lie to Celia.
you gotta lie.
See how to hate on me. I did it, and then he went halfway.
I believe you.
Thank you, Cecilia. They need therapy, anyways. Okay, one more round. Come
One
on.
more round.
Oh, one more round?
Your crew, high school crew. Your
What do they
group.
call? What do they call
G
it?
house.
G house.
G house.
G house.
What's your next event? You guys just obviously you said you guys always get together and go.
We've been pretty busy. We planned a, after summer get together this year, but football. We have hella kids, more than we are. So
That's good.
it's kind of busy right now. We don't have a next event
Oh.
really. Yeah.
Okay. You can sit in a room with anybody for an hour, dead or alive. Who you picking to talk to?
Hitler.
Head
No, not
up.
that guy. Or the guy who chose him.
Give you that guy.
I would speak to my grandmother Wetakia.
That's the one in New Zealand.
She's the one. She's the one I
Howdy.
feel like I feel of her energy and spirit
Dope.
a lot throughout my life. And my daughter, my oldest daughter, is named after her, Wetakia.
Oh, Kia, yeah.
And so, yep,
Dope.
I'd love to sit with her.
Okay.
Super
So we heard your, what's it called? Anyways, what is your greatest achievement?
My
So
four,
we heard about your greatest regret. What is your greatest achievement?
my
in
4
life?
beautiful children.
Oh. Shout them out. What's names from oldest to
There you
youngest?
go.
Bubba, he's 12. Hey,
Hey,
Bubba, I
he's a
love
baller.
you.
Is he?
Shout out- Yeah, he's a baller.
He
a
loves
baller?
basketball.
Watch out for that kid, bro.
LeBron's his favorite basketball player. I
no,
know.
it's probably Jordan. Anyway.
Wetakia, we call her Kia. She's 11. She's a strong, independent little
Track
woman.
girl?
Yep, track. She's a baddie
seen
at
that.
track.
Yep.
Stella is a runner as well.
Oh, nice.
Track
Our
star.
Stellas are around the same age.
Yep.
Track star as well. And then my little dancer, Pika. Her name is Rita, but we call her Pika.
Okay.
But
there
all
you
four
go.
of them are my
That's
biggest
crazy.
achievements. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to that.
Shout out to the kids.
You ain't lying.
But hey, that's about
Go
our
ahead,
time
cousin.
right
Thank
here.
her, cousin. Thank her.
But we just want to give a big shout out to Celia. She's doing big things in that world of therapy. So if y'all don't know, please go check her out. Women helping women, and you know there's a lot of Polynesian women probably watching this.
Yeah.
Please open up, even if it's you, it's your husband, whoever.
Yeah.
Let Celia
But look,
know.
we got
let
one
her help
in-
you out.
We got our own people in office, so I know, you know what I mean? Like I said, you feel comfortable. You don't feel comfortable talking to somebody else. Look, we got
We
our
got
own people
in there
that would
guys.
understand exactly what you're going through. So
I got you.
get the help that you need. Celia, thank you
Yes,
for
thank you.
doing this.
Appreciate
Thank
you coming
you.
through.
And again, go LeBron James. You're the GOAT.
Michael Jordan. Hey!
All right, y'all.
Deuce.